right, okay. Let's keep moving on because I know there's more for you to learn as well as celebrate. So let's have a little look. Our next speaker today is Sam Hind, a beautiful friend and somebody who has been working with our company now for, I think it's about 3 years. But I've known Sam for an awful lot longer than that. She's an amazing woman and has got a heart that absolutely matches this Juice Plus company. Sam teaches direct sellers how to use social media to reach their tribe, people who bring them joy in their business and genuinely want to buy their products. Her training has helped thousands of network marketers worldwide take their business to the next level from all experience levels, ages, and technical abilities. She will be showing us the 3 most important things you need to know to get results from social media in 2020. From absolute beginner to advanced user, you will learn practical steps that you can implement immediately. Can you please give it up for my dear friend, Sam Hind? Over to you, Sam.
Hello, Juice Plus. My name is Sam Hind, and I am so excited to be joining you today at the Juice Plus Live at Home conference. I hope all of you are taking amazing care of yourselves right now. What amazing blessing this is to be able to still have these conferences online and be able to do this from home wherever you are in the world right now. I'm really privileged to be able to present with you all today a social media training on the 3 fundamental, most highly profitable things you can be doing in your Juice Plus business right now on Facebook and Instagram. Basically, what I've done is I've taken all of my training, everything that we do, and I've boiled it down to the 3 key most important things you need to do to get growth in your business on social media. Basically, if you can nail these 3 things, you are 100% going to get results on social media. But there is a little trick, and I want to let you know before we get into the meaty stuff. That is that these 3 things are so important, but they're important in order. So I'm going to go through them today. It's going to make a little bit more sense as we go, but you can't skip number 1 and go straight to number 3. So get your pens and paper ready. We've got loads of stuff to go through in a very short period of time. Get ready. I'm going to share my screen now so you guys can see all the good stuff, and we're going to dive on in. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a look first at a few extra bonuses you're going to get access to. We have also got in the exhibitors area, which you might have checked out by now. Hopefully you have. There's some awesome stuff in there. Make sure you get in and have a look. I know you've got loads of incredible presenters that are going to be sharing lots of great stuff for you there. We have popped in there some extra special bonuses just for you guys today as well. They include a free downloadable worksheet that's going to help you to identify your perfect customer. This includes your perfect team member as well. So you're going to be able to download that and help you to identify who that perfect person is for you. Also in there is going to be a free link to a free extra training on content that converts. The reason that we've done this is because today we're going to be covering off on some fundamentals, but a lot of you will leave thinking, you know what, I'd love to know a little bit more about some of the great posts I can put out there to get the results. Well, we're going to touch on that a little bit today, but if you would like to dive a bit deeper, we've got a great training we're offering you guys completely for free. So jump in and register for that as well. And of course, we've got a very special offer for those of you that are ready to take your social media seriously and do some extra learning with us. But let's start by asking you a few questions. The first question I want to ask you is, would you love to have your perfect customers coming to you instead of having to go to them, find them, seek them out? Would you love to have them coming to you every single day? The other question I want to ask you, it's a really important one, is would you love to be able to find your perfect customer without feeling like you're constantly hounding and hassling your existing family and friends? Now, I just want to clarify something here. Family and friends are an amazing place and definitely a spot for you to grow your Juice Plus business. But there's a difference between having them come to you because they're interested and they're doing it on their own terms and feeling like you're ramming your business down their throat. Now, I know that none of you want to be doing that and you don't want to feel like you're doing that. So I'm going to show you as well how you can create curiosity and intrigue and have these people coming to you every single day because they're interested and they want to know more about what you're up to. For some of you, you're probably feeling a bit like, you know what? I feel like I'm wasting my time. Social media is just a time pit. Your time is worth money. Your time is incredibly valuable. And you don't want to feel like you're constantly spending it, banging your head against a wall, trying to get results, and it's simply not working. And I know for some of you, it's a really big deal. And so you avoid social media because it feels like a big time waster, and it absolutely can be. And some of you as well are probably feeling a little bit sick and tired of watching those people out there that are doing amazingly well at social media. They appear to be absolutely kicking butt. They do videos all the time and they're amazing at taking selfies, and they just get it. And it can leave some of us feeling a little bit like, you know what? Kind of feel like I'm a bit left behind. Maybe you feel like you just simply can't compete. I know for many of you, you didn't grow up with social media. It wasn't a part of your schooling. Technology wasn't a part of your schooling. And so as you go on this journey to grow your Juice Plus business and use social media as a part of that, it can feel a little bit like, you know what, I just can't keep up with those social influencers out there. And we try to mimic them. We try to be them because we feel like we are not good enough in ourselves. We're not good enough as we are. Now, I don't know if some of you feel that way, but I just want to put it out there for a little second. We're going to talk about this in a moment, but I want to encourage you. You are perfect. You are absolutely amazing, and you are exactly what you need to be. Do you know that one of the greatest downfalls, one of the biggest mistakes that people make on social media is they spend their time focusing on being someone that they're not. They think that them themselves is not enough. And the thing is, it's very hard for people to connect with you and relate to you if you're not being you. So I just want to put this out here right now. You are incredible as you are, and you need to be yourself. The one most important thing, if you can get this today, is that if you can be you on social media, your unique, amazing, genuine, perfect self, you are going to get incredible results. So I've got another one, last question for you. Is it leads you're looking for? I love this slide. I had a bit of fun with this, but I know anyone under the age of about 35 is not going to get it. So you guys can switch off for a moment. The rest of you, I'm sure, got a little giggle out of that. But I just want to encourage you as well that social media is not just about pretty posts. It's not about looking great. It's not about putting the good stuff out there that everyone goes, hey, how did you design that? That looked incredible. It's not about the filters. It's about getting results. If you're not getting leads and sales and growing your business or making connections or building relationships, whatever it is that your objective is that you would like to achieve on social media, if you're not achieving those things, then you're not getting the results and it's not worth it. I want to see you get results. So if all of those things sound like stuff that you would love to change, things that you would like to achieve, then stick around. We've got some great stuff we're going to go through with you. What I'm going to show you today is what's changed in 2020, what's happening on social media right now. And I'm going to show you how to use all of that to get leads and sales in your business, to grow your team right now, given everything that's happening on social media. Now, just super quickly before we dive in, I know loads of you have met me before. We've got loads of you that are in our online courses already and having so much fun with all of you. But for some of you, you are seeing Sam for the very first time today and you're thinking, what on earth does she know? Well, I just want to encourage you that I've been working in the direct selling industry for many, many years now. One of the things that's really unique about our business, aside from the fact that we've been working alongside of Juice Plus head office for the last 3 years directly, is that I began my career in direct selling. In fact, I started my very first direct selling business at the age of 14. In just 2 years, got myself to a position where I was one of the top 10 leaders in the country, and my income had surpassed that of my dad's. I'm so passionate about this industry that we only work with network marketers, party planners, direct sellers now. We don't work with any other business type anymore because we're so passionate about what this industry does for each and every one of you guys. And we are so passionate about you guys building a business that gives you freedom and flexibility, grows you personally. And we want to show you and help you to do that on social media because we know it's an incredibly powerful vehicle. As I mentioned, for the last 3 years, we've also been working directly with the Juice Plus head office marketing team. We've got the pleasure of being able to help not only with the social media from a head office level, but as many of you know, we've also been working directly with each and every one of you and training you with various trainings and courses and webinars over the last few years. And we've loved every minute of doing all of that. Today, we've got thousands of people in our online courses. Again, all in network marketing, direct selling, party planning. Again, this is an industry that we are so passionate about. Something that I just want to put out there, though, is that many of the people that we work with have never used social media before. So if you're one of those people and you're thinking, you know what, I'm at the very beginning of this journey, I'm not tech savvy, you might be thinking to yourself, I don't think that I'm going to get much out of this training. Let me tell you something. I've worked with people that have never touched social media before, and they're now kicking butt on Facebook. Some of these people are in their 90s and they are doing some amazing stuff. They're growing their Juice Plus business and they are seeing amazing results. So whether you're really experienced or you're at the very beginning of your journey right now, it doesn't matter. You're going to get something out of this. So like I said, get your pen and paper ready. Something else that I know a lot of you are battling with and have battled with over the years is that you've been doing all the things you think you're meant to be doing. You're doing all the learning, you're copying what other people are doing, you're doing the things that you think you're supposed to do, or maybe you're doing the things that used to work, but now it just doesn't seem to be breaking through the noise. You're not actually getting anywhere. Well, I'd like you to imagine something for a second. How would you feel if you were doing social media in such a way that you were waking up every day to an inbox on Facebook or Instagram full of inquiries, or even an email inbox full of orders or new customer queries, or even people wanting to join your team? How amazing would that feel? Something to be aware of is that randomly posting to Facebook and Instagram, although once upon a time it may have worked, it simply doesn't work anymore. Something that you need to be aware of is that things have changed dramatically, in fact, especially in the last 12 months. Something that you might have done even in December last year. If you're doing social media in the very same way, if you're thinking that worked then and it doesn't work now, you've got to be aware that social media moves at a very fast pace. It's a really good idea to get comfortable with that and even to take joy in that, because it's going to continue to happen. The thing is, if you're doing social media the same way you were just 6 months ago, it's possible that not only are you not getting results anymore, but you may also be doing damage to your own social media growth. So what I want to talk to you about, first of all, is why most people fail at Facebook and Instagram, but Facebook specifically for just a moment. The first reason that people fail is because they broadcast their message. They're so busy telling everyone what they think they need to hear in order to get them to do what they want them to do. So here's my Juice Plus business. I want you to buy from me, or I want you to join my team. They're so focused on what they want, they broadcast their message. They treat it like third-party marketing. They tell people rather than involving people. Another danger zone is that they focus on the pretty, not the purpose. I've kind of already touched on this, but it's a really big one. They try to make every post look beautiful or every caption sound perfect, that they forget the objective. They forget what it is that they're actually trying to achieve, and they lose sight of the more important points. Another is that they don't understand their customer. They spend all their time making it about them. And you know who I'm talking about. You might be doing these things. You might have seen other people out there doing it, and you think, post something that I care about, me, the customer. And the thing is, to post something that your customer cares about requires a bit of understanding, knowing what it is that they want to see. We are definitely going to cover off on this today. Another danger zone is that they don't provide value. Again, they make it all about them. It's not about providing value to the customer. It's about what I want, the person who owns the Facebook page. So if this is you right now, if you're doing any of these things and you're going, maybe that could be me at the moment, it's highly likely that this is why you're not currently getting results. So let's have a look at the 3 key, most important activities you can be doing on social media right now. Now, anyone that's ever going to teach you anything about social media essentially is unpacking one of these key areas. I really want to just cover off right now on the most important fundamentals. Now, I notice a lot of people, even the most experienced people, are still missing 1 or 2 of these key areas. They've skipped something, and suddenly stuff starts to come apart. It's not quite working the way it used to. Usually the reason is because they need to get back to the grassroots. They need to get back to these three things and make sure that they're covering them properly. So let's have a little bit of a look at number one, the who. So number one is that if you try to reach everyone, you will reach nobody. If you try to please everyone on social media, you get absolutely nowhere. Now, as I mentioned, we've got some online courses. We're going to talk to you about it a little bit at the end. We're going to put some information in the exhibitors area for you on these. We're going to kind of dive into a few of these areas and unpack a couple of things here. But if you want to dive a bit deeper and you want to know a bit more, we're definitely going to give you an opportunity to do that. So let's start off by talking about and looking at avatar. If you aren't making content for someone, you aren't making it for anyone. Here's something really important. Most people these days don't know how to be themselves on social media anymore. People are so focused on trying to mimic or copy other things that they think are perfect or look great, influencers out there, they forget to be themselves. And on top of that, if you forget to be you on social media, and I'd like to really get you to ask yourself that question, honestly ask yourself, am I being me? Or am I trying to mimic what someone else is doing? Am I trying to be something that maybe doesn't feel congruent or it doesn't feel like it really truly is me? The thing is, if you're not being you, it's very hard to connect with your perfect person. Something else that I want to really drill home here as well is that clearly identifying who your ideal customer is, your perfect person is, brings so much more joy to you in your business. Imagine being able to work with your amazing, perfect people. Imagine being able to only have customers or team that are the people that you connect well with, rather than trying to chase everyone and anyone that's got money in their pocket that's ready to spend it. Just because someone's ready to spend doesn't mean that they're your perfect person. And in fact, many of those people will drain your energy rather than building your energy up. Clearly identifying your dream customer is not a new process. It's not a new concept. It's a very old concept, but it's something that a lot of us forget to do because we're so focused on just getting the sale that we forget sometimes we could be putting a lot less time and energy into working with a certain type of person than trying to work with everyone. So rather than trying to deal with everyone, I really want to encourage you, find that key perfect person for you, because when you get clear on that, you will begin to draw more of those people to you. It will happen organically without you having to put the effort in. Do you know the people that are really clear on this spend so much less time trying to find their perfect people because those perfect people find them. The people that are trying to work with everyone and anyone end up losing and using all of their energy because it is draining. The best way for me to describe this to you, though, and the importance of doing this is kind of like talking to you about dating. When you start dating somebody for the very first time, when you're looking for your perfect partner in life, you don't meet them and say, hey, would you be interested in marrying me? I would hate to think that you do that. I'm sure that you don't. But what you do instead is you meet them, you go on some dates with them, you get to know them, you warm them up, and slowly over time, you gently take them to a place where they're willing to make a commitment to you long term. And it's kind of that way with your customers. When we meet our customer for the first time, do you know that people make a buying decision not on the first time that they come across a business, but 80% of all customers to any business anywhere in the world, buying customers will make that buying decision on the 8th to the 12th time that they come across that business. Now, it's not the 8th to the 12th time that they hound them. It's the 8th to the 12th time that they come across their path. One of those times might be that they receive an email. Another might be that they see a social media post. Another of those times might be that they hear someone mentioning their name in passing. So what I really encourage you to do is warm your customers up. Get to know them. Find out what matters. Find out what makes them tick. Warm them up, get to know them, build a relationship with them, and then slowly take them to a place where they're willing to make a commitment to you long term. That's going to lead to customers, team, people that you've got for life, not for tomorrow, for life. And they're going to be shouting your name from the rooftops. So just like you wouldn't say to somebody when you meet them for the very first time, hey, would you marry me? You don't also say to a customer, hey, would you buy from me? You haven't earned the right yet. You need to warm them up and gently take them there. So the first thing we've got to do is get to know them. So what are some of the things you can get to know about your perfect customer? Well, some basics just to starter is their age, their gender, their career, what they do for a living, their interests, demographics, and behaviors. There's so many more things you should absolutely over time get to know about them. But this does take time, so don't put the pressure on yourself to know it all tomorrow. Just start asking questions, getting curious with them. If you don't know the answer to these questions, ask. Put a post out there on social media. Ask them a little bit about what their favorite website is, or what clothing brand they love, or their favorite foods. Get to know them. The more that you do that, the more that you build a relationship with them as well. Okay, so once you get to know some things about your ideal customer, there's two key golden questions that you need to ask yourself about your perfect customer that will then formulate everything you do to grow your business going forward. Every single Facebook or Instagram post you ever put out there should come back to answering these two questions, or at least considering these two questions. You ready? You're going to want to write these down. The very first of these questions is, what keeps them up at night? This means, what problems in life does your perfect customer want to solve? What frustrates them? What challenges them? What problems in life do they want to solve? The next question is, what gets them up in the morning? This one means, what do they value? What do they love in life? What excites them? What makes their heart sing? When you know the answer to these two key questions, you're able to then take this information to either improve their life or reduce their pain. One of those two things. Now, it doesn't mean that every post you put out there has to either solve a problem or it has to talk about the things that they value, but you've got to consider to yourself, am I providing them value with this post, or am I considering something that is a challenge for them in life? If you know that your ideal customer is a mum who's got young kids and she wants to save time making healthy school lunches, then you know that one of the things that you could do is put a post out there every now and again on lunchbox hacks. So this is a really great way for you to address a problem in life that she wants to solve, but also provide her value at the same time. They're more likely to engage with your content and feel like you get them. Okay, so I also want to just encourage you as well. We're going to talk next about the second part of this process, the why. But if you would absolutely love to get a little bit more help with this process we've just been through right now, we've also got for you in the exhibitors area, as I mentioned earlier, a free downloadable worksheet where it's going to help you identify all of these key things about your ideal customer. And we're going to walk you through the steps to answer those two golden questions. So if you would love a little bit more help with that, make sure you jump over there, get that download, and work through that worksheet. Okay, let's have a bit of a look at number 2. Understanding or knowledge is power. It absolutely is. The more you know, the easier it's going to be for you to grow, for you to develop, and for you to get your incredible business going gangbusters. That's why you guys are here today. You're here today to learn from people. And what I really want to encourage you to do is to have some understanding. For a lot of us, the reason we aren't able to do social media well is because we simply don't understand it properly. So I want to talk to you now about the algorithm. The algorithm, although you might be thinking, hey, it sounds complex and I think it's probably just something I don't need to worry about, there is an importance to you having a little bit of an understanding around what it is and how it works so that you can be providing Facebook the stuff it needs you to provide it in order to reach your people. The reason a lot of us aren't getting results on social media is because we don't understand how it works in the background. So I want to give you a bit of information now on an understanding to help you with then stage 3. So stage 1, getting to know your people. Stage 2 is understanding what's going on behind the scenes. So let's dive on in and we're going to talk for a little moment about what is that algorithm. Now, I know some of you know all about it. Some of you don't. Don't stress. I'm going to explain it in really simplified terms right now. Around about 5 or 6 years ago, Facebook realized it was becoming a very busy place. In fact, businesses had cottoned on to the fact that they had a captive audience on Facebook. So they started spamming Facebook feeds with all their products, services, business opportunities. You might remember the time because it became a really promotional environment. It went from being fun and family posts to just being business posts, left, right, and center. So Facebook realized that in order to keep the platform going, because it was losing its users left, right, and center, it knew that it needed to adapt and become smarter. So what it did was it brought into play a program that operates in the background of Facebook called the algorithm. This program is ever changing every minute of every day. And there's no one person out there that can fully explain exactly how the algorithm works to you right now in this given moment. But what we do know about the algorithm is its sole purpose is to get to know everything there is to know about each and every one of you. It gets to know things like how old you are, what you do for a living, your gender, your behaviors, your demographics, what websites you go to, and even your household income. It learns all of this information to deliver you only the content on social media that it knows you want to see, with the intention of keeping you on Facebook or Instagram for longer and more frequently. So to put it in really simple terms, your Facebook and Instagram feed is customized to you like a fingerprint. There are no two the same, and it is for you and you alone. Now, as a business, this becomes a real problem because we're programmed essentially to tell everyone everything we want them to hear in order to get them to do what we want them to do. So here's my product. I want you to buy from me. Here's my business. I want you to join me. And naturally, the algorithm picks this information up. It decides it's simply not interesting to the end user, and it doesn't deliver it, which is why we sit here banging our head against a wall trying to get our content out there. And instead we're listening to crickets chirping, wondering why no one is seeing our stuff. So what most people don't do, and the thing I'm going to show you how to do, is to use it to your advantage. The thing is that the algorithm, although it's every marketer's worst nightmare, can also be your best friend. In fact, speaking to your ideal perfect customer is in fact teaching Facebook and Instagram to deliver your content to your people. So that's where we go to number 3, the what. What are you actually giving the algorithm right now? So let's have a little bit of a look at what you're giving it and some of the key fundamental things that you can be doing right now to be getting actual results. So here's a little danger zone right here. And I want to ask you this question. If you're one of those people and you think, I've been doing everything I think I'm meant to be doing and it's not working, or I'm putting posts out there, or I'm being frequent with my stuff, or I'm doing 10 posts a day and it's not working. Are you actually changing anything? Are you doing the same thing you were doing 6 months ago and it wasn't working then and it's still not working now? The amount of people that I see constantly taking selfies and posting the same stuff and expecting to get a different result when it's not working. Guys, you've got to adapt. It's fun learning new things. It can be a bit challenging, but I really want to push you right now outside of your comfort zone just a little bit. If what you've been doing isn't working, it's time to try something else. Now, here's a secret I'm going to let you in on. This is a marketing 101 secret, sales 101. Your customer's favorite subject is them, and their favorite word, the sweetest word in their vocabulary, is their own name. So the more that you can make them feel like you're talking about them, the more you can use their names and interact with them. You'll see this from some of the most successful Juice Plus franchise partners. They really do use the names of their team, of their customers, of their people. They get to know people, and they speak directly to people. They make people feel like when they do a live or when they put a post out there that they're having a conversation just with them. This all comes back to that step number 1, and you can see how it all works in now. Step number 1 is knowing them, knowing who you're reaching, because if you get that right, this part becomes so much easier. So here are a few little key pointers for you when it comes to your content. The first is follow the 80-20 rule. Now, this is the most commonly known and commonly ignored rule of social media. That is that 80% of all the content you put out there right now should be first and foremost engaging, interesting, entertaining to your target customer. When you get that right, you then earn the right to do 20% of self-promotion. Self-promotion includes the use of the name Juice Plus, using dollar signs, numbers, your email, your phone number, the words buy, book, sell. All of that stuff will get picked up by the algorithm as being self-promotional. In fact, most of the most successful franchise partners with Juice Plus worldwide are people that work more towards 100% of their posts being informative, engaging, interesting, and entertaining to their target customer. They do very little, if any, self-promotion at all. You don't actually need to do loads of self-promotion in order to draw people to you. They will naturally come, because the best way to sell is not to sell. And make sure as well that everywhere you can, you create curiosity and intrigue. If you want to know more about this, we're going to share it all with you in that free webinar that you can get in the exhibitor area. We can't dive into this too much today, but when you create curiosity and intrigue, you essentially don't give away the farm. You don't tell everyone everything they need to know. You can product place, you can create a bit of intrigue, but don't tell everyone everything. Give them a little snippet of a recipe. Share a picture of a beautiful cake that you've just baked using the complete. But don't tell them everything they need to know. Tell them to come to you if they want to know a little bit more. Also, make sure that you are being conversational. Ask questions. Social media is two-way marketing. It's about engaging and interacting with people. So please make sure you're doing exactly that. Be conversational. And most importantly, above everything else, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again because this is so important. Be you. Be your perfect, unique, amazing self. You don't need to be anybody else. People buy from people that they like, know, and trust. And it's very hard for people to like, know, and trust you if you're not being you. You are more than enough. So be yourself on social media, and it will be super transparent if you're not. If you are not being successful on social media right now, it's often because we are trying to be something else. We think we're not enough as we are. So I really encourage you to be yourself. And remember, it's social media. Be social. When someone comments on your post, interact back with them. Have conversations, use their name, ask more questions, have conversations in your posts. Make sure that you are interacting with people. And last but definitely not least, use video. Video is favored on Instagram and Facebook above all other content. But you don't need to do video of just you. If you don't feel comfortable doing a Facebook Live or doing a video of you talking to a camera, that's okay. There's so many ways you can incorporate video in your social media. One of the great things that we'll show you in our online courses, for those of you that want to learn a little bit more, are some of the amazing ways you can do video, even if you've never, ever done it before. So for those of you that are thinking, you know what, I really, really, really need some extra help, I really want to encourage you. We've got some great ways that you can do Facebook with me, that I can work one-on-one with you and give you the help and the assistance that you absolutely would love to get and that you need. Remember, jump over the exhibitors area. We've got a downloadable worksheet for you where you can identify your ideal customer. We're also going to give you a free live training on content that converts. Posts that you can create that are going to draw more of your ideal people to you. So if you want to unpack that curiosity and intrigue process a little bit further, get it over to the exhibitors area, register for that training. I would love to work with you on that. And of course, we've got a very, very special package offer only for those of you that are ready to take your social media to the next step. I just want to say right now, guys, our courses are not for people that aren't ready to put the work in. If you're thinking, you know what, I want to take the bull by the horns, I really, really want to get on top of my social media, I want to learn how to do it well, I want to know start to finish all the steps, I want all the help I can get right now, then I would love to work with you. I would love to give you some extra assistance right now. So jump over to the exhibitors area. There's a little video in there. You can check that out and we'll give you some help with that. But for right now, I just want to leave with one last thing, and that is this. What is your one thing today? Have you written down some notes today and you're going to walk away from this session and you're going to feel maybe a little bit overwhelmed because you're thinking, there's so much I can do, there's so much I should do. I just want to take you back to the one thing. What's the one thing you can do in the next 48 hours? Small, big, doesn't matter. But what's the one thing you can achieve in the next 48 hours? Think of one thing from this session today that you can apply in your business. The one thing is the most powerful thing you can do, as little as it might be. Just one thing. It's one step. So guys, it's been an absolute pleasure sharing with you today. I've loved catching up with all of you. I've loved being a part of this conference. Thank you so much for having me. I'm going to be chatting as well in the Q&A. So if anybody wants to come and ask me a question, I'd love to help you out there. But have a really amazing day. Enjoy the rest of the conference, guys. And most importantly, take care of yourselves. Have a great one. God bless, and bye for now.